You could chuck the link in the group if you want. Let people watch. Yeah. Just put a link in and say, hey, we're recording live. You know, if you want to watch us record and do the thing, then follow this link and then take the post down after it's done and make the video private.
Where would I find the link?
Oh,
I'd have to reopen.
No, it's fine. I can put the link.
I'd just take the because if I'd done the address at the top, it'd bring people into the chat.
Yeah. So there's a YouTube page link I'm about to give you
via PM. Yep.
So funny. The dialogue doesn't want to stay open. Right. There we go. Where's my mouse gone? There we are. Where's your chat gone? It's come on. There you go. So you can tell people that they can watch us while we're recording on YouTube if they follow that link, and then just say, look, we're going to take the video down once we're finished recording. But hey, if you want to, you could even keep that thread open if people do want to ask questions or make comments. But I would suggest leaving the thread open, but don't pay it much mind.
Yeah. Yep.
So if you post that. And just tell me when you're done, and we can do the thing. Just as a bit of an experiment, like it's all well and good to do a podcast and have have it nicely edited and stuff, but really doing it by the seat of your pants with an audience is quite interesting.
I've just found with a lot of other people doing stuff live, it's not taking or not paying attention to the comments of what's going on off to the side helps.
Yeah.
Because you can sort of get bogged in and get lost in the weeds pretty quick if you start reading and following what people are saying off to the side.
All right, cool. So I'm just going to leave that. I'm going to leave that open so that if anything gets said in the thread, then we'll see it, but it doesn't matter.
That's the Q&A bit?
No, just the Facebook group. Just if someone comments on the post that you just made.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. All right, cool. Yep. Let's get this little show on the road. I will actually be able to tell if we have viewers, but it won't matter. Yep. We do have one viewer. That's going to be Tim. Okay. Because I noticed that Tim liked the post as well. So hi, Tim. Okay, cool. Let's get going because I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I'm tired and I want to go to bed already.
You haven't even got the statue news yet.
No. When we get to statues, it'll be.
It looks good. Next.
Okay, let's go. Ready?
Yep.
And one. And this is I'm not Elvis. Hello and welcome to Off the Shelf, the voice of Transformers Collectors Club Australia. This is episode 51. We are recording live, and we actually have an audience as well. I can see 3 viewers watching us while we record this on the Hangout. We are recording live. It is February 26th, 2016. The podcast room has been vacated by everyone tonight. It's just me and Brad. So, hey, Brad, how you doing?
Good, Jason. Good. It's a dynamic duo.
Yes.
Maybe.
Let's go with that instead of the lonesome duo.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Nothing better to do with our Friday night.
Yeah, well, I have some ideas, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I might keep that for the Off the Shelf After Dark podcast.
Yeah, I could have travelled to Melbourne tonight, so I don't have to do it at 4 o'clock in the morning. But well, it happens.
Yeah, so you're going to Melbourne for the Comic Expo, and I think Roy Condez is having the trade day at his place.
Yes, that's tomorrow at Narry Warren. Both events, all the details in the events section of the group. But yeah, I think it starts at 9:30 tomorrow, and it's going to be a big day. Selling, trading, saying hello to everyone down in Melbourne, and do it all again in Collingwood Town Hall on Sunday for Comic Expo. So, and then I've got to drive home so I can be in bed by 9 o'clock to go to work early Monday morning. Big weekend.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you're going to have the kind of weekend that I had a few weeks ago as well, and it was just after I'd gotten back from my overseas trip. I was just like, I want to relax. I want to stop and just have a nice chilled out weekend. But no, I had to do like 5 things over the course of 2 days, and I didn't get any rest at all. So yeah.
It's that time of year when stuff seems to be happening every week.
But it's not meant to be happening every week. It's February, right? Like, it's meant to be quiet. It's meant to be quiet for me because, like, usually I do like a bit of tech journalism and reporting on Android phones and stuff. This is meant to be the quiet part of the year, but it's hectic there as well. And yeah, I mean, Transformers wise, we've had Toy Fair. We've had 2 toy fairs really. We had Nuremberg and now we've had New York. So all the news coming out of that has kept us quite glued to the screen, really, hasn't it?
And then BotCon's in April, so
the last BotCon.
BotCon, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the last BotCon.
Yeah,
it'll be back as something else next year, but
it'll be rebranded.
Of course, yeah. It'll be the Transformers Robots in Disguise Family Fun Day.
HasbroCon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay, look, that's enough. That's enough banter, I think. Let's get down to some boilerplate. This is Off the Shelf. We are the podcast for Transformers Collectors Club Australia. TCCA website is transformerscca.com. You'll find links there to the Facebook group, YouTube channel, Twitter page, and of course the podcast. And of course, also additionally the buy sell trade group, which also operates on Facebook. You can also find the podcast. Sorry, I just got a little bit posh there. You can find the podcast on YouTube and on iTunes. Head over to iTunes, give us a review. You can find the podcast on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up there as well. The links are on the website and they are in the show notes if you are listening to us at a podcatcher. Australian listeners, you can become a paid and proud member of the club for just $5. Send a message to Brad and he'll get your membership underway. Although we are nearing the end of the. We are actually nearing the end of the thing. You said you're not taking memberships anymore, didn't you, Brad?
I did, but we've already gone up 3 memberships this week, so...
Well, scratch that. We're taking memberships, okay?
Yeah.
So, hey, message Brad and get the membership underway. Membership fees go to purchase of raffle prizes, prizes for donation drives, participations at conventions like Supernova and Comic Expo, and more. So, Brad, give us a member count update, please.
Paid and proud member count this week is 206, which is up 3 members from last week, and our social member count is 1,637, which is up 9 from last week. I think someone's been hearing a little rumor that there's going to be another paid members giveaway before the end of the membership year, so there's still a few people.
Can we start that rumor now?
Yeah, let's start it. Yep.
Didn't we already do a paid membership giveaway like last week or the week before?
Yeah. Yep. But with people still joining, then they missed out. So there might have to be another one at the end.
Yeah, let's get that rumor rolling. Now,
I won't deny that it's a bribe for the next renewal. So, shh.
That's probably a good idea. Look, the last couple of weeks we haven't really done favorite posts of the week because we've been too busy to pick them. Tonight, because there's only 2 of us, we actually did stop and have a look at our favorite post of the week. Brad, take it away. What's your favorite post?
Yesterday, I think it was Wednesday evening.
Day before, yeah.
Yeah, it was a day this week. A lot would know that John Ryan, our Queensland rep, he's got a... I don't know. I can't remember how he got it.
He has a 3D printed version of himself.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And he took a photo of himself with the. Can
we actually say John Ryan likes to play with himself?
Numerous occasions.
Yeah, it has been said. Yes.
and he was out stargazing with the Generations RC. I'm surprised they didn't have their hand on each other.
I gotta. Well, I don't think you can pose him that well. But
no, he can't get his arm up.
Well, yeah, we can also start that rumor. But I was actually quite surprised at how good a representation of him that figure is. Like, I've seen these guys at Supernova and Oz Comic Con. This whole come and get yourself 3D printed and stuff, and like you think it's going to be fairly shit, but yeah, it worked. It worked for him. It's a pretty good representation of him. Although I believe you can also, if you want your own John Ryan to play with, exclusive just for TCCA members, if you want your own John Ryan to play with, you can actually just go out and buy any Pirates of the Caribbean Jack Sparrow action figure, and you've basically got the same thing.
Yeah,
possibly with a little bit more articulation. Leave the eyeshadow on as well.
Nice.
So, yeah. Okay, cool. So, look, my favorite post of the week was John Yoyen's G. And I don't know if I've actually, mangled his name there or pronounced it correctly. So I'm just going to err on. I'm going to err on the side of safety and say I apologize. So he put a couple of posts up with G1 poses for Masterpiece toys, because we all remember those days when our Transformers were not really capable of, I don't know, say striking a pose, and you had this very arms by the side, and you could raise and lower the arms and maybe swing them out, but you couldn't do much else. So he took his Masterpiece figures and just sort of like arranged them very stiffly, almost the way MP1 shipped in his box, really, as well. But yeah, so I thought that was quite cute, because we're used to seeing all these dynamic poses with Masterpiece toys, reaching out, ready to fight and punch, and yeah, taking that away and stripping that back to just straight up, I will look forward and nothing else. Yeah, I thought it was pretty effective.
Now your G1 toys are just as expensive as the Masterpiece ones. They do the same thing.
I think the G1 toys cost a little bit more than the Masterpieces, actually.
Yeah. No, I didn't realise that leagues could. I suppose they got it for Camo just pegged together, so you just have the standard, like the normal stand up.
Yeah, most of the time you would just take the legs apart and extend, and
yeah.
So these days, I think the leg extension seems to be the exclusive domain of the Generation Seeker, because like I never see figures with extending legs anymore. It's almost like they regard that as a bit of a cheat, and so you've always got legs that fold in upon themselves, or with like with Cyclonus, where the parts split and then move up above it and stuff. So yeah, it's always a bit fun. I think we should probably go and talk about some news. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Stop typing in the Facebook thread.
I was trying to find a photo of them. That's right. Yeah. If you've been in the group for the week, you'll have seen it.
Yeah. Let's go talk about some figures now. If you want to switch into your screen sharing mode, I don't know what's going on. I'm losing it tonight. I'm doing voices and accents, and I don't know. Am I even still me? I'm kind of weird. Okay, look. I say that you have you've got the screen up. So we've got new pictures of Victorion up, and I think the big news is that the green is like far and away much easier on the eye on these official pictures than it ever has been.
I just wonder if pre-orders exceeded what they originally thought, so they had to lean the green down to make it reach across all the figures, because they've really lightened it up.
I
pulled it down.
Yeah, look, I really hope that people's initial complaints about the coloring of the figures has been heard, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I don't know. So I'm still not particularly taken with Victorian. If you scroll down, then we've got the bot mode images and the combined image and the box art there as well. So if you take your screen down there, yep. Yeah. So let's have a look at the bot modes. I don't know, like in
They're
so many
combinables.
Oh, they totally are, right? Like in so many ways, the bots are kind of unimaginatively colored, unfortunately. Like some of them are kind of like the flip side opposite of each other. But yeah, I don't know, it's just a bit unfortunate. It's not really doing much for it's not really doing much for me wanting to buy it.
It's a team looking like a team, but I just really don't like that robot mode and that head mode.
So I don't really have a problem with the head. The feet. This is the only time that, despite Hasbro saying they've got new, they've got new combiner feet, and I believe the hands are also new as well for Victoria. Yep. But actually, can you see on the right hand there the complete and utter cheat that they've got for holding the sword?
We mentioned this. I don't know if it was last week or the week before when we've seen the Victorian photos. Her sword is not in her hand; it's pegged into her thumb.
I completely didn't notice that, but wow, just wow. Also, is it me or is there is this actually the new official way of putting Victorian together? Because in the comics, we've seen the helicopters form the arms, not the legs.
Yep.
Let's have a look at the box art. Yes, you can see the cars. The cars are definitely the arms on the box art. And also, but also on the box art, she's actually holding the sword. Also, the hands are not grey on the box art, so yeah, there's a bit of how do we call it? Creative license going on. So
yeah, they've done the complete 180 from normal Combinables figures where they got the feet are too small and the hands are too big. Now they've gone and done the custom feet and hands. Well, the hands are too small and the feet are too big.
But now they're dainty, aren't they? No, I'll probably get in trouble.
I don't even want to know how those hands open and close. I I can see the pin there, but
it looks to me like the fingers actually move individually, but there's only one pin, so the fingers would retain their curve the entire way that they open up. So yeah,
at least the same as Masterpiece. The index finger moves, and then the other three are.
It's also possible, but it looks to me like all the fingers move, or they all pose together. So we'll see. Yeah. Victorian is, I believe, not due out until mid-year, but the reason we have these images is because Amazon Canada listed them, and they had all the press images ready to go. So yeah, thanks Amazon. Let's move on now. There was a little bit of a stir caused this week with the news that Hasbro has applied for new trademarks to cover a couple of character names. That would be Omega Supreme and Vector Prime. I think we might just leave that scrolled up to the top to the pretty image of Omega Supreme, because people watching the video are not going to read the story. So yeah, Omega Supreme did pop up in the Titan poll last year. Which who won the Titan poll? It was
Trypticon.
Yeah, so Trypticon won the Titan poll, but the wording of the competition was quite specific, and it does seem like we are going to see all three Titans, just not all at once, obviously. So Omega Supreme was not one of the winners, but he does have a trademark applied for him.
From what I heard, he is the least voted out of the three. But this could mean anything. This could be for the upcoming movie. It could be for something.
Very true. Yes.
It could be. It's just something like we've seen Scorponok as the RID warrior figure. Just to hold that name until they do that Scorponok in 4 years' time, or
whenever they're going to do it. Scorponok in the movies.
Yeah,
or you believe if they do a Titan.
Yeah. It's just a placeholder for a couple of years. So
yeah, cool.
All
right, let's move on. There's a couple of new official images for some Robots in Disguise figures. Now, if you bring these up on your screen there, it does actually prove it proves the rule that if if you take a figure that's tiny and photograph it and blow the photograph up so that it's larger than the actual figure, it's going to look pretty shit. So Ratchet is coming out as is it Legends or what's
That's a Legends figure.
Legion class for Robots in Disguise. And so yeah, so we've got an official look at Legion Ratchet and the Blizzard Strike Optimus Prime, which is the blue repaint of Optimus Prime. So Robots in Disguise has a not bad looking Optimus Prime figure actually. He's fairly good, but yeah, it's just there's only so much you can do with the figure at that size.
Yeah,
it's a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, they're knocking some good figures out in the Legend size scale.
They are. We were talking about this with Wheelie last week. Wheelie looked like a pretty impressive figure, and I think most of the Legends class figures for Combinables have been pretty good. So, yeah.
Yep, and even like Combinables Shockwave, it's turned into this week or this month's Jetfire on the group. I found Ratchet was interesting. Fingers crossed he's one of the Prime characters to see come back, but his cartoon art doesn't show him as a crotchety old doctor, so I don't know what they're going to do there. But
it is kind of weird because, for all intents and purposes, they will tell us that Robots in Disguise is the follow-up to Transformers Prime, yet all of the characters look much younger and more kid-friendly. But
yeah, well, it's almost a prequel, just looking at how they are.
Well, based on the age of the characters, but not based on what's happened in the show. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit unfortunate. Look, if you're a Robots in Disguise fan, you're going to like these figures. I do like the blue repaint of Prime, actually. I think he's all right, but Robots in Disguise just doesn't really have a place in my collection. So
even the dog doesn't like it.
Yeah, your dog disagrees greatly.
Oh, it's not my dog.
Yeah, no, that's how much he disagrees. Like, we can hear him from next door.
Oh, sigh. Shut up.
Have you asked the crickets in your backyard what they think of it, or did you ask the question and say, "Hey guys, do you like this?" and then you just heard crickets?
I asked them with my sprinkler and they kept on going. Although they were going at 4 o'clock when I got home from work, so there was no stopping them.
All right. Let's move on. We're done with Hasbro news. Let's get on to some Takara news now. It's been no secret that one of my favorite Transformers in the last couple of years has been the Generation Springer. Now, I believe Takara has released this mold before, but they're re-releasing it this year. Obviously, it's the 30th anniversary of the movie. Not that it is in Japan, but it is in general. It's acknowledged to be the 30th anniversary of Transformers the movie. So it's no surprise that they're going to bring out a new repaint of Springer. His colors we saw a couple of months ago are much more Generation 1 like, with some sort of lighter green and a bit of dark green and some yellow on him. He's still the Springer mold that is absolutely awesome, that we know / love, at least you love if you're me. So even though I already have this guy, I'm kind of tempted to get this figure. I don't know. What do you think of him?
He looks like he's held together a lot better than what the Hasbro one was.
I don't know if that's really true. I don't know if that's really true. I mean, like, he looks like he's the same mold. He's not going to be held together any better.
Yeah, I'd scroll down and have a look at these comparisons. He's definitely got a lot better overall color. Just that big yellow chest piece that really takes your eye with the Hasbro version.
But see, I mean, until you put it next to a figure that's got a green chest piece, it's just like, well, that's Springer. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just a different way of coloring the figure. So I think Hasbro had a green and a yellow on the figure. Takara's got at least 3 shades of green, but only 1 shade of yellow that I can see as well. But they do have
19.
They do have a little bit more sort of variance in the way that they've applied that color as well.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't mind either of them.
Yeah, and that mold, they could repaint it 5 times and you're still going to buy all 5 figures. It's just a really good mold.
Can you stop telling people that I'm going to buy figures? Because like I end up buying figures.
I was talking about me.
Fair enough. So he's coming out before the end of the month, which, considering it's the 26th of February, so basically what they're saying is he's coming out this weekend or Monday. Sorry,
Yeah.
we can ignore the dog making noise in the background. There's no need to draw attention to it. Okay, let's move on from Springer. Let's talk about another character that starts with S. That is Shockwave. So we've got a new look at Masterpiece Shockwave. Now, TFW 2005 has gotten the, well, not TFW, but the Chosen Prime, which is an online store, I believe. They've gotten their hands on Masterpiece Shockwave, and they've basically photographed him from all angles. Now, I'm just checking to see. Yes, I was just checking to see if I was going to have to retract that statement about them being an online store, but no, they're an online store. So, yay! Yeah, so they've taken some really good photographs of the figure. Basically, Masterpiece Shockwave is now laid bare in front of us. We've seen the left, right, front, back. Any surprises for you in here?
His backpack doesn't look as big as what it sort of seemed in the event photos that we've seen previously.
So to me, it looks like the backpack is actually sort of like spread out and compressed down a little bit from these gun modes. So maybe what it means is that the Chosen Prime has actually photographed actually transformed him and photographed him properly. So
done it properly, yeah.
Now you were mentioning that his legs look a little bit see-through as well.
Yeah,
I can actually see that more from the back than I can from the front. Like from the front, I'm pretty inclined to ignore it. But from the back, I don't know. I don't know. Frankly, like I don't really care.
No.
What I think is
you're not going to have bright light behind the figure to see this light through. So most displays, you're never going to see that anyway. Unless
you're taking advantage of some light piping. Actually, is it light piping in this figure, or is it actually just a battery powered light in his head?
As far as you know, it's the hand, isn't it? Isn't the hand?
The hand doesn't look very light uppy. No. By the way, that is a technical term now. Light uppy it's my chosen distinction for it. I believe it was Quakewave that had the light up hand. I don't think.
Yeah, he had both. I just wonder why that if it's got a light up head, why does it have light piping on the back to help that out? But anyway.
So what what I don't see on this figure. And it makes me wonder where these photographs actually came from. What I don't see is any sprue marks or any, poorly chopped off pieces of the mold or something, which makes me wonder if this is meant to be a reference for the figure, or if it actually really is like an in-hand image of real stock. So yeah,
we can. This bottom photo confirms that John is. The hands stay on the figure when it transforms. You can see the grey bits of the wrist.
I was pretty sure we already confirmed that many times a long time ago. But yeah, cool. Let's move on. Masterpiece Shockwave, new photos, yay. Do you have him on order? I have him on order.
I don't. I'm not. I'm quite happy with. I'm quite happy with Quakewave. Yep.
All right. Yep. Let's turn to some third-party news, to something that I actually do have on order as well.
And I would nearly want to get as well.
Oh, it looks pretty good. So if you want to bring him up, Spark Toys has revealed their new War Within Optimus Prime. Now, I've heard that this guy's about 22 centimeters tall. I'm not sure if that makes him Masterpiece scale or not, because frankly, I don't really know how tall a Masterpiece is. Thinking about it, probably is about that scale. It's a War Within Optimus Prime. Let me just bring up your screen there as well. So yeah, look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. Now, what I can't figure out.
MP1. That's taller than MP1.
You reckon?
Yeah, 22 inches.
Yeah. Well, so if that's the case, then he's not gonna fit in with anything else on my shelf. He's going on his own shelf. Fair enough.
Good.
He looks great. Now, I'm a little bit cautious about what we're going to see when we actually take this guy out of the box when he gets delivered, because we see this all the time with Hasbro press images where figures have shiny paint jobs, but when they come along, they're just glossy paint. And so this guy looks really shiny. The blue and especially the red on his chest looks fantastic. It's looking at these photos is what made me actually just order it from Premium Collectibles the other day, and I believe he sold out as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's sold out, and there's another piece that we're going to talk about later that also sold out, I think. But no, he looks pretty good. Frankly, so what was the other War Within inspired Optimus Prime toy that we've seen was only titanium, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I assume that they've sort of taken that titanium design, upscaled it, and sort of given it a masterpiece treatment. Like, it looks like it from the sort of the angles at which the arms are hanging, and just some of the pieces that I am actually familiar with from that mold. But I mean, especially the front grille, which is really, really impressively made. But
there is a Megatron coming too, so that he's not going to stand on his own on the shelf for long.
Oh, I really want to see what their Megatron's going to look like.
Well, it should mostly be grey, but yeah, just
never know. Well, you never know what the paint job will do with that as well.
I wonder if they're rubber tires. Rabbit hole.
Let's find. Wow, some of these poses look fantastic. But notably, I don't believe there's any alt mode images. Oh no, there are.
Yeah, yep. It comes with Matrix too, which is different to the Masterpiece Matrix.
Look, you can't make a Transformers Optimus. You can't make an Optimus Prime without actually making a Matrix, right?
This one looks a lot easier to get in and out.
Yeah, it does too.
And the door probably closes on it properly. Just that chrome bar work, and even all the surrounds for the lights and the hips, just following that same chrome bar work motif through, just looks great.
It sure does, doesn't it? Yeah,
light piping on the gun for some reason.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And even the hot rod pipes on the wrists or on the lower arms.
Yeah, well, so I think that's more in line with the actual look of the alt mode with the roll bars and stuff on the front.
To it, wherever it is.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Okay. So look, let's move on from that guy. I believe he's due in the next couple of months.
He'd have to be $200 plus, wouldn't he, for something that big?
No. It was up for pre-order at Premium Collectibles this week. I think he's come down from Premium Collectibles this week, but it's going to make for fantastic listening. But if you hold on a second, I will pull up my receipt, my order receipt, and I'll tell you exactly how much it cost. Going to make for great editing. I'm sure you can.
Because he's got his Fire Axe, of course. While you're doing that,
okay.
Got some massive name branches.
All right. So he was $125
Australian.
Mm-hmm. I know, good. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I mean, like, that's, yeah. I ummed and ahed for about 5 minutes, and then I decided to buy.
That's cheaper than Prime on 3 times the size.
So yeah, let's move on. Now we have a sort of a long running joke in the on the podcast where you could spend ages waiting for one bus and then 3 turn up at once. We reckon that once 3 third-party companies have made a particular figure, that's when Takara dips their toes into the market. Now,
that's already when they've perfected the mold and they do their own.
that's right. They can take the learnings from their subsidiaries. Now we've got to make toys Inferno. We have the MMC Oculus Max, Ocular Max Backdraft, and today we've also, not today, a couple of days ago, we saw some prototype images from X Transbots with their figure Dante, which is actually we like to give third-party companies a bit of shit for their naming, but Dante's actually kind of clever. Now, of course,
I want a little Pierce Brosnan to go with it.
Yes, yeah, fair enough too. Now, this guy looks in these shots. He looks mostly 3D printed or resin molded. So, like, you can't really get a particularly good sense of how he's going to look with sort of finished surfaces. But we have seen renders of the character before. I'm also super impressed that someone at X Transbots decided to pose him up next to the green Bape Masterpiece Optimus Prime, and also that's the MP1 version.
Yep,
because he's got the cod piece as well. So impressive. Well done, guys. It's either you've got the world's most sought after MP1 figure, or it's a knockoff.
Yeah.
So so just if you could flick over to the next tab as well and have a look at some of the images of Ocular Max, the Backdraft figure. Now he's looking very impressive. He's looking impressive enough, and he looks impressive enough. And I liked the Ocular Max Mirage Sphinx enough that I have ordered this guy, even though I think I've said on podcasts in the past that I don't have a particular connection to Inferno. Like, I don't really care, nor with Grapple, but I liked Sphinx enough that I've ordered this guy, and we'll see how he is when he gets here. And I've also ordered their Ravage, their Ravage cassette as well. So he should be arriving in the next couple of weeks, I hope.
Yep.
So we'll see. But so there's been a bit of discussion in the groups about whether or not the alt mode for Backdraft. There are people saying that to be properly cartoon accurate, Inferno's truck needs a sort of a smaller back, but I don't think that's particularly important. I think more important is the fact that he looks like a fire truck in alt mode, and he looks like Inferno in robot mode.
Yeah,
so
is G1 inspired? He's not the G1 Inferno. And looking at both this and the X Transbots one, it must be the Make Toys version that I preferred. Like this X Transbots one, those linkages going across the front just to get the head and all that to go up on the back, I really don't like that.
Really? Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
You see the linkages across the top of the alt mode?
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah. Maybe
that all serves a purpose to get the ladder and the head and the wings there that you can see up to the top of the cabin, and I just don't.
Yeah.
It's a pain with the alt mode the way it's sort of laid out. I have not seen a review of the Make Toys version, not a Make Toys version one, to see how it does it.
I'm not entirely sure that Make Toys' figure is actually out yet. If he's not out, he's coming really soon. But because it's like
the Mastermind Creations one, you can sort of see the arms are behind his head; they'll fold out, and this just probably comes up.
I think the Ocular Max version does have a simpler transformation. It looks like he's got a simpler structure to him in general, which I think is a little bit more in keeping with the sort of the intent of the Masterpiece line as well. But at the same time, he is a lot more complicated than most Masterpieces. There's a shot of him standing next to Red Alert, but yeah, it's probably all right. There's a shot of him carrying Red Alert, which is kind of weird. So having said that, there is a picture of him next to Mirage as well, and also next to another one of the Mastermind figures as well, next to Ravage, and I believe it's one of the reformatted figures, one of the DJD guys.
Yeah, I love that artwork.
Yeah, the artwork is interesting. I mean, look, so the artwork is basically a riff on the Backdraft movie poster, but sure. Let them have their fun. So
Yeah.
it seems to me like you're a little bit more in the Backdraft camp than the Dante. Which one gets your money?
Between these two, I'd go Backdraft.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if you throw in the Make Toys version, it seems like you're going to head for that as well.
Yeah, I think I'd go for that one. But see, this one, like, he's got the whole like real big feet. Although you can see they split in half there for his toe and heel. I'm not sold on the X-Transbots yet, and I think the cab's too small for the body, even though it sort of scales well with Prime, but just the proportions look off. It looks like a non-transforming figure in this.
I think the cab looks all right.
It's a better looking. It's a more accurate cab than the Mastermind one, but I just don't know. I need to see paint on it. I need to see color on it. I think that.
All right, let's move on. We've got one last third-party figure to look at tonight. That is, if you can bring it up, please, the extremely impressive looking and extremely expensive, and my wallet is hurting just looking at this, the Ultimetal Ultra Magnus. Now, we were looking at this earlier, and I actually didn't realize that Ultimetals are actually officially licensed from Hasbro. So this is probably like the super masterpiece line for them, really. It's got Transformers Generation branding. It's the third Ultimetal figure. I mean, I think they've done Optimus Prime and Megatron before, haven't they?
I only know of the Prime. I never knew of a.
Well, see, it's UM03. So let's find out what. Oh, maybe UM02 was just a repaint of Prime.
I was going to say, was it just a white one?
No. Actually, this is interesting because Ultimetal Megatron was actually announced as UM03. UM02 is Bumblebee.
Okay.
So they've done Optimus Prime, they've done Bumblebee. And if you look back in 2014, they announced they were going to do Megatron, and it seems they've decided to do Ultra Magnus first. Now, this is Ultra Magnus in classic G1 style. His armor that fits around an Optimus Prime figure, isn't he?
Yes. Looking at some of the design photos here, it looks like they've just taken that Ultimetal Prime and I don't know if they've added armor to him. Then there should be no reason why this armor can't be removable. If they're just going to take the basic skeleton and make armor to go around it, then fair enough. But
I'm wondering if there's one of the shots that shows like the armor half removed, and you can see the white Optimus below it. But I wonder if that's actually, because that's not actually the picture of the toy. That's just the render, and so I wonder if that is actually really just intended to represent what you're actually looking at and show off why it's proportioned in certain ways. So, like, we know that the Ultimetal figures are sort of like movable statues in a way. So, I wouldn't be surprised if you're not meant to take this guy apart. Like that picture where he's got armor half on and armor half off. Like you can't recreate that with the toy. Like he's one solid piece.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see even the head, like the head's got a non-face plate.
I think they haven't finished the head sculpts because in the photographs he's definitely got a proper face.
Yeah, you can't see any underneath, even through his chest plate. There's no windows enough in there to suggest that there's a white Prime underneath it.
Yeah.
He's definitely got the Prime sort of leg, like thighs.
So do we have any idea when Ultimetal Magnus is coming out?
2018. Once they can find enough paint to put on top of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It does look like, and we do go on about the Prime One Studio stuff, and this is sort of in the same, or not quite the same league.
I think you go on about them.
Okay.
The Royal We. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. This is for the G1. And this stuff, I think the Prime was about $1,000 when it came out.
Yeah, it
They
was,
had to do a
it was
lot of
800 US, and yeah, back in that time, it would have been about 1,000 Australian. It's going to be about $12 million Australian now.
Yeah, it was interesting though. They had a lot of removable panels and everything to have pistons and wires, and just to add that detail to make it worth the price. Whereas this thing's got sort of the body and the panel lines, the detail, and I'm going to say the paint once it's on there to justify the price without the under skin detail. Perhaps.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So
you'll be hearing about this in a few weeks or a few months.
You know, to be completely and utterly honest, if I had $1,000, I would probably go for the Ultimetal Optimus Prime. He looks amazing, and he is indeed the masterpiece of masterpiece primes. But I don't have $1,000, so I'm going to go for the couple of $100 one that I have in MP10. I'll leave it at that.
He doesn't transform.
Yeah, I don't necessarily care if he transforms, right? Like, it's not important to me.
Nah, because I'll never transform it anyway. But then you're sort of looking at the second-hand market. Yeah, he's $1,000 back 3 years ago when he came out.
Yeah.
He's probably $2 now.
Well, no, so I've just looked up Ultimetal Optimus Prime as 950 US.
Okay, so he's holding his price well then.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, cool. That's actually about it for news, isn't it?
That is.
Yep. So we don't actually have any. We don't have any Q&A because people who are watching along on the live stream, there's a few people watching the live stream. No one has asked any questions in the Facebook page, so we're not going to answer anything. Very simple. Let's move on to new acquisitions. Now, Brad, you were saying earlier that you don't think you've got anything new.
No, I've been sourcing some figures for the conventions coming up and for some upcoming giveaways. So I haven't. Nothing on topic has come in. I've been filling some gaps in my Jurassic Park collection at the moment. So
fair enough. So So I'm starting to acquire a taste for these things, which may or may not be good. On the shelf behind me, no one's going to be able to make it out. There is the Transformers collection, the Takara book style reissue of Cup and Wheelie. Now, I've got a few of these things over the years. I've got 4 of them. I've got Cup and Wheelie. I've got I picked up Starscream. I've got Sound Blaster, and I picked up a couple that I can't remember at PopCon last month from Joel Friedman. But I may have only bought. I can't remember what I bought. Okay, look, no, I bought 2 from him last. Whatever. You know what? Next week, I'm going to promise that I will have my TF collection reissues sorted and on the shelf behind me, so that we can actually tell what I got. But I've been thinking about this week, and I think that this year might be the year that I go after these book collector items, because frankly, Titan's Return is leaving me a little bit cold at the moment, and the only other stuff that I'm really interested in is Masterpiece figures at the moment. There's not that many third parties, even though I just said I've ordered the War Within and Backdraft, but like there's nothing on the horizon that I'm like, oh, I've got to have that, and I'm really waiting for it. So I'm expecting to use Titan's Return as a bit of an opportunity to I don't know, plug some of the gaps in my collection, and one of those gaps is the TF collection book reissues. So I think I'm going to go after them. If anyone has any and you'd like to sell them to me, I would love to hear about them. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, Bill's commenting in the background. It's a smoke screen and jazz that's behind you.
No, it's not.
Thank you, Bill.
No, it's Cup and Wheelie. Like, I know what's on the shelf behind me, but I believe what Bill might be pointing out is that Smokescreen and Jazz might actually be the ones that I bought when I was at out at Pop.
I did get Jazz in this week, so
yeah, cool.
He's a good-looking figure. I've got the G1 version, but he's severely broken, so it's good to have one complete, intact.
Excellent. Okay. Look, I think that might be about it. We've managed. You know what? We keep the show to the two of us, and we managed to run the show on time. How's that? We have. I can't actually tell you how long we've been broadcasting for because Hangouts doesn't actually give me that number, so that's a bit weird. But whatever. I'm going to call it. We're about an hour, and I think it's about time to wind up the show. What do you think?
Yep, lovely.
All right. I think Brad needs to get to bed because he's driving at 4 a.m. and we would like him to not drive off the road. We do for people who are just listening to this at their leisure. It is like 10 o'clock on a Friday night. We do record this fairly late into the evening on Friday nights. So yeah, if you hear us yawn or if you hear Brad fall asleep, because it's usually Brad that falls asleep, that is. Although I believe it was close to being me one week, but that was probably when you were talking about statues.
Not since episode 13.
No, we learned the lesson, right?
Yeah,
we learned the lesson. Don't talk about statues on a Friday night. So yeah. Anyway, look, this has been Off the Shelf. This has been a rather abbreviated and cut down version of Off the Shelf. It's more just like a chat between Brad and myself this week. Next week we'll hope to bring back a couple more people and have a little bit more of an all-in discussion on whatever news comes up next week. And yeah. So until then,
I was going to say the February donation drive is about to be drawn, so good luck to everyone that entered. We I had 100, no, not 100. We had 56 members donate, so you're in it to win it.
Fantastic! And by the time you hear this, it will have been drawn. So too bad if you didn't enter.
They should have been on their way. Yeah.
All right. That is it. Of course, you can find everything that we're talking about in the Facebook group on various Transformers news sites, and you can find all the information about Transformers Collectors Club Australia at www.transformerscca.com. So head on over there, find the podcast in any way, shape, or form that you can on any service that allows it to be rated, and please give us a rating. Hopefully a good one. We'll see. All right, I'm Jason.
And I've been Brad.
He has been Brad, and what a Brad he's been. And we're gonna bring this to a close. Thank you for listening, everyone, and we'll talk to you next week.
Until next week, goodbye.